So guys, after taking all the basic steps, after covering all those basic queries on the Indian stock market, here we stand today for discussing one of the most important yet underrated, untalked topic of the Indian stock market. Today we'll discuss about trading and demat accounts. Many of you who are about to enter the market might be thinking of opening this account. So what exactly does this two different account mean? So this is one important thing to know, not only for people who want to join the stock market, but also for people who are already investing into it. Many times you have heard some scams about the brokers cheating their clients. It only happened because the client was not aware of the working model of their brokers. So you must understand this factor that you cannot only lose money in the market by choosing a bad stock. You can also lose money because of these kind of frauds. See, these terms may sound very boring in context to the whole investment idea when we talk about demat account, trading account, DIS, POA, depositories, but these are very important terms to understand. So let's start with demat account. Demat account is a kind of a bank account where you keep all your shares. In the trading account, on the other hand, you give money to your broker. I'm sure most of you might have signed POA, power of attorney. Many people who open their trading account with any brokers out there are not aware of this whole philosophy of POA. Generally, they ask you to sign every document on the account opening form. So what exactly do they do with it? We will learn that very soon. See, demat account is your bank account of shares. Every time you go and buy the shares, it gets deposited there. So there are two kind of depositories, NSDL and CDSL. See, these are both government depositories. Once you buy any share, they give you a DPID, which is more like a bank account ID or a bank account number. So you get a DPID in which your shares get stored. So demat account is basically a place, a depository given by the government of India, either in the form of NSDL or CDSL, which are just two names for two depositories out there. So your shares get stored in any of these depositories, and that is all about demat account. Moving to the trading account now, it is something that gets opened at the broker's end. To buy and sell a share in the Indian stock market, you need to go through a broker. If you want to buy, you will pay the amount and get the stocks from your broker. When you want to sell, you will give your stocks which your broker will further give to the exchange, and in return, they will get the money which they will credit to your account. So trading account gets opened at the stockbroker level. The demat account, on the other hand, gets opened at your depository level. So these are like two different accounts. Your broker can only ask you to open the trading account. Demat is not mandatory. You can keep your demat account anywhere else. You can just have one demat account and 10 trading accounts. Let's now understand what is the trade flow. Let's say, for example, you decided to buy 100 shares of Reliance. So what will you do? You give your broker an instruction to buy 100 shares of Reliance. The broker sends that instruction to exchange. Now exchange confirms the order. So shares get allocated into your DPID, into your demat account. So in the whole process, this broker comes into the picture in both buying and selling time. So it's very simple. When you just want to buy it, you have a trading account and you bought the shares. It got deposited into your demat account by default. Now what about selling those shares? Now that you have got shares into your account, which is your DP account, and broker has no control over it. Now let's understand the selling flow. Again, every time you want to sell, what will you do? You need to instruct the broker that I'll give you these shares that are kept in my DP account and you have to sell it. So the broker gives this order to the exchange. Exchange now considers this request and gives a sell instruction. Now the exchange will get the delivery of these shares from the broker. But understand, the broker has still not received any shares of Reliance from our side. So what happens? Now they go to the depository and they ask for 100 shares of Reliance from our account. So what do you think will happen? Will the depository give them those shares? No, they won't. Unless and until you are not authorizing your broker, they will not give it to them. Authorization can be done in two ways. Number one, POA, which is also known as power of attorney, and number two, DIS, which is also known as delivery instruction slip. So you can use the DIS slip and give a physical form of authorization to a broker to deduct all these shares from your DP account and give it to the exchange. But for a very long time, we have been doing everything virtually. So the brokers have started taking a signature from us, which is known as POA. So what happens? They get the POA signed from you that they can instruct the depository to deliver the shares to the exchange. Now when you do frequent buying and selling every time and you don't want to give the DIS slip, then this POA comes very handy. Now let's understand a few more things. If you just want to trade in the stock market, then a Demat account is not required at all. Demat account is only required when you want to do your investments. You can independently open a trading account as well. There are two kinds of investments, active and passive. If you're not aware of these kind of investments, you can click on the I button to watch the video now. So in passive investments, as I have told you, you buy the shares of a company that you're completely confident about and you stay invested for 5 to 7 years unless you see the fundamentals of that company going wrong. So POA is not required if you're doing a passive investment. You can opt out to sign the POA. Now the broker will try to convince you that it's very important to sign the POA. This is a very general practice among all the brokers and you have to be very cautious here. See, if you're a passive investor and you're going to invest every 6 months to 1 year and leave it for the next 5 to 10 years, you can simply say no to the POA. SEBI has made a mandate last year that a broker cannot push you to sign a POA with them. See, there is a reason as to why I'm focusing so much on the POA part. Recently, a fraud happened with a client in the name of POA and their broker did it to them. So on the name of convenience to sell the shares, they get so many other clauses written and for common people like us, it's very difficult to comprehend this POA. So now you have two choices, to be very careful when signing POA or decide whether you are going to do a lot of buying or selling or not. If not, then simply instruct DIS slip every 6 months to 1 year when you are going to sell the share. If you're going to sign a POA, go and read all the clauses. Sometimes in the name of signatures in the POA, they can take full access to your account. Now these things can be very dangerous for you. So am I asking you to go against the POA? Well yes, I'm asking you to be careful when you are signing your POA, not just in the trading and Demat account, but everywhere else. Giving access to your assets is something which you should be very careful about. See, it's your hard-earned money that you're going to invest into the stock market. So you need to know where exactly you can lose money. Talking about myself personally, I have not signed any POA with any of the brokers that I use personally. I use Zerodha and Upstocks and I haven't signed any POA. I just use DIS, the delivery instruction slip. So be very careful while opening the account and understand it in a detailed way. First decide whether you want to invest actively or passively. Based on that, you can decide whether you want POA or DIS. See, SEBI is there to protect you from everyone else in the system, but they can only protect you if you know what are your rights and where exactly are you signing. Be aware of it. Take your time to create an account so that you can have a peace of mind that your savings are protected. So summarizing what we learned today, a Demat account is just like a bank account that gets opened at a depository level either with CDSL or with NSDL and our shares are stored there. Number 2, a trading account is where you keep money and give instructions to a broker to either buy or sell on your behalf. Number 3, POA is a document which you sign and give for pre-authorization to a broker. It is used to get shares from the depository while selling it. As always, I'd like to end the video by giving you a call to action. Go on Google and search about the Karvy stockbroking scandal and read about it. You'll get to know a lot of frauds that have happened in the past and you'll be more cautious when you're going to open your account. So that's it guys. Hit the like button if you liked the video and share it with your friends. So basically this video is a part of the whole stock market series that we have created. You can click on the I button to watch our other videos as well. So thank you for watching the video. This is Srijan Barnwal signing off until we meet again.